Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Monday. It's Daryl here. It is bright and freaking early, man. It's 3 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, this morning it's going to be kind of a seat of the pants from the heart video again this morning. I didn't really plan on what I was going to talk about. I got a general idea of what I want to say. And again, it's about Donald Trump. And it's about, more than that, it's about the coming election. And I realized something that we all have in common, because the country is basically, let's call it 50-50. Let's just, for the sake of this video, let's just say the country is very divided right now. 50% for Donald Trump, do or die. No matter what he does, no matter, he could do or say absolutely anything at this point, and these people will just love him more. 50% of the country is like that. The other 50% is anybody but Donald Trump. They have this fear, like me, I have a fear of Donald Trump coming into office. Okay, so after he was just convicted, I did a video yesterday about the people turning their flags upside down, and the first thing that came to mind, because I'm thinking about how it's disrespecting the flag. It really is, no matter how you slice it. I know some people are going to tell me, oh, it's for times of extreme danger to people or property. Come on, look around you. Is there, let's just put that aside. And I thought about the hypocrisy to the taking a knee thing. I took a knee. I walked into the middle of a Stop the Steal rally back in 2020. November, in the middle of my town. I saw them forming out in the streets, yelling about Stop the Steal and all that. And I actually walked into the middle of this all by myself. And I've showed you guys the video before. I thought I was going to get beat. And I thought about that. How it's the exact same thing these people are doing. And then I saw Jason Aldean. He posted a picture of a flag on Instagram with the flag upside down. And Jason Aldean is not one of my favorite people. I've said before, the country music is not big here in Connecticut. We don't hear country music here. There's probably one station. I don't know. Country music doesn't really exist up here. And I didn't even know who Jason Aldean was before that video about try that in a small town. And I thought about that video he did. Right in front of that particular, was it Columbus, Tennessee, where there was a black man was hung because he was from out of town. He came in. There was accusations that he messed around with a Caucasian girl, and he was, he was hung. And then there's other pictures of Black Lives Matter's protests with stuff burning and stuff, and the way he posted that. And he insisted that he didn't pick that courthouse. That all the courthouses in the South probably had some form of had something like this happen. And he just he's from Georgia, but he just randomly picked that courthouse. And I thought, this guy's full of it. And I saw his. I went to his Instagram page, and I'll have the link right down below so you guys can read this. And I read the posts underneath his upside down flag. And I want to tell you guys this. I realize we have something in common. We're both, I guess you could say, terrified of the other side winning because we think we're going to be persecuted. I know I do. I believe that, from what Donald Trump has already said about the press, about the way people, responding to the way that people speak badly of him, like I do. The way that he wants to limit the press, the things people could say about the president, the things people can say about him. I really get the feeling that I will be persecuted, that this channel, that I've actually thought about this before, that I'll have to take down videos or end up going to jail or getting questioned or getting arrested or getting my YouTube channel eliminated if Donald Trump becomes president. I really, like, me and Beau, the fifth column, are two people that I really, a lot of other people, but the two people that came to mind that if Donald Trump wins, will it affect me? And I feel I'll be persecuted. But I read Jason Aldean's Instagram post, and it took me a while to find the common ground between us, but I did. Okay, so this is the upside down flag here. The post will be, I'll read the post to you, and the post will be right down so you can read it yourselves. Jason Aldean, scary times in our country right now, man. When a former POTUS gets treated like this by our justice system, what does that mean for the rest of us? If there ever is a time to speak up, it's now, all caps. Make no mistake, we are in trouble. And I read that. And as soon as I read that, I thought to myself, why is this guy saying this? I saw the evidence. I saw, Stormy Daniels. I thought about this morning too. Stormy Daniels made one big mistake. She didn't do what Monica Lewinsky did. She didn't get a sample. And I'm wondering if Donald Trump wore a condom. Seriously, if she had gotten a sample, this whole thing, I don't know. It still probably would be. It's still. I'm sure Trump supporters would say that it was fake or some other stuff like that. Trump supporters will not believe anything. But I thought about that this morning. If Monica Lewinsky had just gotten a sample, man, if Stormy Daniels had just gotten a sample like Monica Lewinsky, this could have changed things considerably. And I thought about this. So Jason Aldean is worried because he thinks this is all fake. He believes every word that Donald Trump says, that this never happened, that everything Donald Trump does is for the country and he's a patriot, and he could have just gone and been a quiet billionaire, but he loves the country so much that he just wants to help and make America great again. And he's never done anything wrong in his life. And then forget about that part where he said, that I can grab him by the what. I put all that together. Him saying that in the bus, but you can grab them anywhere. They'll let, when he said that, remember he said that? And then Stormy Daniels, and I read Stormy Daniels' book. And I was a liar for 2.5 decades. I was a drug-using liar. And I could spot a liar. And Stormy Daniels was not lying. You could tell by the details. You could tell by the minute details. I could spot a liar. I could spot somebody trying to manipulate me, and I believe every word Stormy Daniels says. I really do. I think she would have been better off if she never brought any of this up. She really would have been. She could have just made just as much money and had a lot less problems and a lot less fear in her life and a lot less hassle if she never brought any of this up. And I believe every word she said. So when Jason Aldean said this, like he thinks it's going to affect them, I'm like, why does he think that? Why are Trump supporters worried? Because people like me realize it's not Joe Biden that's doing this; it's the justice system. Because I saw Cohen, Mike, the lawyer for Donald Trump, admitted the check. We saw the check for $130,000 back in 2016. The lawyer admitted what it was for. Stormy Daniels admitted everything. There's proof. There's testimony. There's the canceled check. There's everything. Yeah, of course I believe it. So Donald Trump had this, while he was out on the trail talking all sorts, saying jail, lock her up, Hillary Clinton. I remember this chant. I remember this chant clear as day. Him saying this. I remember the people in Audrey's family saying this, lock her up. And now it's actually happening to him. And now he's saying he never said that. I found a link down below with him actually saying that. So Donald Trump is a liar. He is such a liar. And these guys believe every word he says. But they believe they're going to be persecuted. I looked at Jason Aldean's post, and I'm like, he thinks that something, if Joe Biden is elected again, and look what's going to happen. If Joe Biden's elected again, look at the hissy fit these guys all threw with him being arrested. If Joe Biden is elected again, they're going to lose their minds. They're gonna say it was all rigged and it's all, it's the government, and they're gonna lose their freaking minds in November. There's no way this is gonna turn out good. And then I realized I have the same fear as Jason Aldean. If Trump becomes president, I believe that I'm going to be targeted. That I'm going, from the stuff Trump has said, I've actually seen flags that said 2024, the revenge tour. Trump supporters. So, I think my fear is more founded because the things that Donald Trump has actually said about limiting press. I'm not the press, but I do a YouTube channel where I talk about current events. And I talk badly about the things that I believe Donald Trump is doing. And I believe I would be targeted if Donald Trump, because the things he said and the things that Trump supporters say about revenge and all this other stuff, I believe I'll be targeted. Now, Jason Aldean believes he's going to be targeted too. I believe we have this in common. So both sides are fear that personally they're going to be targeted for their political beliefs. And on our side, I think on their side, I don't really believe that. I don't believe that Joe Biden is going to target like Jason Aldean or the common Trump supporter or whatever. I think he's just going to go on like he has for the last 4 years, trying to improve the economy, trying to figure out the immigration thing, trying to figure out the Ukraine thing, the Israel thing, the stuff that presidents do. But I believe Donald Trump, you look at that face and you look at his posts and you look at the lies that he says, how he said he says he never said lock her up. The way that he lies, and I just don't trust him. So both people like me and people like you watching this, a lot of you watching this, are fearful of Donald Trump becoming president because we feel we're going to be persecuted. And I realized this morning that people like Jason Aldean and all these Trump supporters believe they're going to be persecuted. The difference being is we don't believe that their fears are founded, because of the last 4 years, Joe Biden, in our eyes, has done nothing to persecute Trump supporters. They bring up January 6th, and I have every reason to believe those people should have been prosecuted, because it's these people that are believing his lies and acting on them. So there is a difference between this 50% and that 50%, but we both sides have this fear of persecution by the other side. That's what I think is going on when I read Jason Aldean's page on Instagram this morning. Let me know what you think. Did this make any sense? At least I found common ground between, because this really has to be resolved. We have to talk about this. We have to talk about this before November, because if we don't, the shit's going to hit the fan on November 5th. It really is. If Joe Biden wins, all hell's going to break loose, and they're not going to believe it. If Donald Trump wins, I believe there's going to be the revenge tour, where Trump and his supporters are going to seek revenge and seek catastrophic changes in this country, limiting people like me and Beau the Fifth Column and other people. Who's right? Who's wrong? Whose fears are founded? I don't know. Let's find out. Let me know what you think. Have a good Monday.